Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Alpha Primus here, and we have another Transformers Age of the Primes review. This time we're looking at Deluxe Class Vortex. Yes, he's out of the package already because I've been messing around with him for the last few days. A little bit of housekeeping first. Excuse me. I am doing the channel on my own for now. Nathan has grown a bit tired and he's in that teenage years now where he's not quite as keen on doing this anymore. I'm going to keep the channel going for a little bit longer, see how far we go, because we've now got 200, well, we do have 276 subscribers, now I think it's 274. I'm going to see how far I can take it myself up until the new year, and then take it from there. So you'll only hear me from now on. Nathan, maybe Nathan might come back every so often, but a lot of the time it will just be me. So with that out of the way, let's get on to Vortex. This is obviously his artwork on there. Very, very nice. With he's a typical attack helicopter. I do like the artwork on these boxes. They're always really cool, always high quality. 19 steps. We have another part of the mural. I think it's the same one. No, it is different from Alchemist, but that was obviously the same one as Solus. However, he does have the same mural as Megatronus. So we'll see if we which boxes are the ones that complete the mural. Till all are one. Yes, till all are one indeed. Again, nice little product shot on the package here. Obviously, he is a Combaticon, so this is our third combiner. Very much looking forward to this. Of course, the man, the myth, the legend, that is bruticus. He looks fantastic. He's not my favourite combiner. I think probably that is Menasor or Predaking. I would be very, very happy for Nathan to get a Predaking. So again, just to flip back to Nathan, he's not stopping collecting Transformers, so there will still be new Transformers coming. He just isn't really feeling the reviews at the moment. And I was sort of like doing a lot of it anyway, so yeah. Anyway, that is the packaging. Let's move on to the figure himself. Apologies in advance if you hear a bit of shouting, a bit of muffled shouting. My youngest son, Luca, is on his VR and he gets very shouty on that. And I can't bother trying to tell him to be quiet because it is nearly impossible to get him to be quiet when he's on that thing. He has no concept of sound when he's on that thing. So anyway, here we have Vortex himself out of the packaging. I like this figure, nice little figure. I love his head sculpt, pretty cool. I know it's quite generic and plain for a robot, but I don't know, I like it. Comes with 3 weapons. Yeah, he has this big blaster here, just in solid plastic, nothing to write home about. And then he has 2 blasters that are exactly the same. So, and they can also attach here onto his arm, which is pretty cool. I don't like these. I understand why they're there, because of transformation. I just don't like them. I really don't. I really don't like them. I know a lot of people don't like gaps in that. That doesn't bother me as much. Thankfully, though, even though I don't like this, it's not too much. It's not, for me, it's not a massive negative, because if we're going to be brutally honest, this guy is going to be on display in a helicopter as a limb. He's not going to be on his own on display anywhere. I like the fact that his helicopter blades do turn. I do like that. My cat is also meowing at me. I don't know why. The little one doesn't turn as well, probably because this is in the way, and it all moves around once in transformation. But overall, he's actually a nice figure. I like him. I like him as a figure, but even though I'm not keen on this, again, he's not going to really be displayed other than as a limb once the others have arrived. But overall, I think he's a decent figure. So let's move on to Articulation. So with Articulation, it is almost pretty much standard for other Transformers. His head on a ball joint, his arms can do the 360. They also go out quite well. There is a bend at the elbow and a turn just above the elbow. No wrist articulation, unfortunately, but needs must. He does have waist articulation, can kick out, can kick forwards and backwards, swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee, and a little bit of ankle tilt. Again, not much to really write home about. Nothing new, nothing spectacular, but nothing other than maybe I know some transformers have wrist articulation, but that's not, this one not having wrist articulation isn't that much of a big deal, really. I'm not upset about that. So yeah, pretty standard articulation. Let's have a look at size comparisons. So when it comes to size comparisons, I know you guys have probably noticed I try to sort of group these guys with characters that, you know, you might be, that are similar in terms of style. You know, if I do Beast Wars, I'll do with Beast Wars. If I do Autobots, I put them with other Autobots. Here, for example, we have Decepticons, but these are combiners, so you can get a rough idea of what they look like with other combiners. Again, yeah, there's nothing, unless it's something like a Bumblebee or a Cliff Jumper, you're going to roughly be all about the same size. Here he is with Megatron, with Siege Megatron. I can't wait to retire this guy. And much like with Earthrise Prime have Studio Series Megatron, he is on pre-order. So that is, you know, something to look forward to. So with Megatron, of course, we also have his creator, you know, Starscream. So again, yeah, pretty decent comparison size there. You know, looks as you would expect a Deluxe to look against with a Voyager. Well, with two Voyagers. I can't remember, is Megatron a leader or a Voyager? I'll have to look that up. Megatron, of course, is a Voyager. I even have him in a Voyager box. Yes, we have our Transformers in boxes by size. Here he is with Leader Class Galvatron. Again, you know, he does serve Galvatron very briefly, I believe, in Season 3. So I thought there's a nice little comparison there. And for one final comparison, I thought I'd put in Slingshot. Again, you know, not much to say really other than pretty decent size. So let's move on to transformation. To start his transformation, we have a face mask here that sort of pulls up. If we turn his head around, so it's facing backwards, we have this face mask here that we can sort of pull up and over his face. We can then turn his back compartment on its side. We're now going to move up his arms. So we turn them inward and we can move them up like so. Let's try and get this now. There we go. So he's going to, and you can sort of twist him. So you put his arm in, make sure it's in there. So you've got this sort of shape here, and we can move that around in a minute. Again, we'll do the same with the other arm. Let's get it into its connection part first. You can move them out of the way. There we go. Let's swing that out. We can then combine this end together. This is always really tricky, much trickier to transform when you're trying to do it with a camera in between. Apologies for the jankiness of this, of all my transformations. I'm not even going to pretend it's just this one. It's all my transformations. They're all a bit janky. Apologies. I apologise. What have I done wrong here? I've done something wrong here, haven't I? What have I done wrong? That's going like that. And it should. I should really practice more before doing these reviews. Right. That side's gone in no problem. So why is this side being difficult? What have I done wrong? I know what I've done wrong. I've not turned this around enough. Oh, there we go. Oh my days, much more difficult and fiddly than it was. Do you know what? I did this absolutely no problem the first time. So let's turn that. There we go. And I've done this part the always professional now for Primus. Okay, so I've got him in. So if you ever need a bit of tips, make sure that you've got him right. These blue tabs here, sort of like blue tabs here, will be facing downwards. And then you just know you just need to move around. Once that is done, we just flick this over and in and pull this. Yeah, that is one problem I've had a couple of times where the keeps untabbing out of its thing. So if we have this flat, and then that should just click in there like so. This part should be a lot easier. Fold these two down to form the front part of the helicopter. Flip these two parts down. Fold his legs in like so. He says, oh my day, it is too hot here in the UK. I'm putting it down. That's it. My reviews are not janky. I'm just very, very hot and bothered. He's just not clicking in properly, is he? He's being a pain. His legs are almost in, and they're almost together, and they're just not going in for whatever reason. There we go. I think I've got it there. Did it slide under then? Nope. I just need to get it to tab in. Again, this is always the most difficult part. I really need to start mastering this part, don't I? I wonder if I unclip him, clip them together in advance, stretch out the legs, click the feet together, click them in and under here together. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Clip in, undo them. Hey presto, attack helicopter mode. Oh, he's coming. He's not fully. There we go. He's in now. He's all clicked in. Right, quick review on this. So here we have an alt mode comparison with Starscream. I thought it was quite appropriate to just do Starscream rather than all the others, due to the fact that they're both flying. I would imagine this one probably would be a lot bigger in scale, but you know, obviously you're looking at the class size. But then we can also bring in, for a more comparable comparison, there we go, is Slingshot. So yeah, pretty decent. Slingshot seems a bit wider, but you know, Vortex is a bit longer. So about average. There's nothing. He does feel a bit small for a helicopter, but you know, in comparison, he's not that bad. So let's move on to final thoughts. So his alt mode, yeah, he is an attack helicopter. Again, his rotors really do move quite well. I made his transformation look much more finicky and difficult than it is. It is because my arms are fully outstretched and I'm trying to make sure I keep it in the center of the camera. Apologies. In terms of weapon storage, so all of the guns have a tab and you can pretty much tab them in here. I think actually this one on the artwork, I've just dropped it, tends to tab in here. So let's do that. Yep. And then his two similar ones will tab in on here. Oh, let's do this side actually, because that's that side. That one in there, and again we can do either side on this one, but I like mine on this side. And there we have his full attack mode. Again, I do like how this one spins really, really well. It's really free. I think it spins. I remember Sandstorm being a bit more difficult, but this is just, yeah, you could spend hours doing that like a mini fan. His bat one doesn't spin as well, obviously, but you know what? Overall, a pretty solid alt mode. Have a quick look at alt mode comparisons. Overall, a solid figure, I would say. He's nothing to write home about. He's not amazing. He's not brilliant, but he's not bad either in any shape, way, or form. You know, and again, with all these combiners, other people might want them for display, so then you make that decision, and you guys have to make that decision whether it's worth an upgrade or not. Again, we don't have any of the CW combiners. These are our first combiners, and I am quite happy with it. Well, I say, obviously I had some combiners, G1 combiners, and these guys are a massive upgrade on them. But yeah, I do like this guy. I think he's a really cool figure, but he is mostly going to be Bruticus's arm, and that's about it. So it comes down to that, guys. If you have Bruticus already and you're happy with it, this guy probably isn't worth your time. If you're like, I don't have a bruticus, or I want to upgrade, I don't like my CW one, this one might be worth your while. So thank you all for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and do anything you can to help. Maybe share the video. I'm always iffy about sharing it on TF is it CWTF World 2005. I'm always a bit iffy about sharing it on there because I don't want to get banned or anything. But you know, if anyone knows if it is okay to share videos on there, I would happily share this review on there myself, because you know I do want the channel to grow, and I've not had many comments on here recently, but I know when I have had comments, you know, I love hearing from you guys. So please, literally anything you want to tell me, you know, anything, what do you like about this guy? What do you not like? Are you going to pick him up, or are you happy with your version? Let me know, please. Sound off. I love hearing from you guys. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. In fact, I will see you very, very soon, because I have a Silverbolt review and a Star Optimus Prime review coming up very, very soon. By the end of this week, both of those videos will be up, I promise you. So thank you very much, and I will speak to you all soon. Thank you. Bye.